Hello once again, Star Wars Unboxing fans. Welcome to another episode of Darth Tuba's Star Wars Unboxing Show. I'm your host, Darth Tuba, and as I've said, I've jumped down the rabbit hole. I am now looking at a whole series of figures purchased from claim sales through Facebook. Now, how does this work? Well, you go into Facebook and you have to join these different Star Wars trade and sale groups, okay? The ones I know, Imperial Commissary, and there's two. I think one is for claim sales and one is for auctions, okay? And they do different things. Sometimes they'll do a thing called Deal or No Deal, where they'll put a whole bunch of stuff out there, and they'll say, okay, make an offer, and then people make offers. I mean, I haven't done one of those yet. Frankly, the prices get way too high for me to deal with. I prefer to start on the low end and work my way up. And that's what claim sales can often be like. And what they'll do is they'll list an entire series of figures or accessories even, not just the figures. A lot of times they're complete figures. Sometimes they're loose figures that don't have any accessories. Sometimes they sell the accessories separately. It's all different types of things. And then sometimes they'll just list all of it in the description, and then you go in the comments and you say, claim, I want to claim C-3PO, or I claim the Ugnaught, or I claim the Jawa, and they get back to you via those claims, and start giving you prices, and then you do Venmo, or sorry, you do PayPal, and you do it. There's all sorts of, there's a couple of different things you have to follow. Is it 100% foolproof? No, it's not. In fact, on those groups, you see a lot about scammers, and you see a lot of things you got to be aware of. So always buyer beware when it comes to this. My advice is don't bother doing this unless you can afford to lose a little bit of money, because chances are the more you do it, the more you might get scammed. Now, as it stands right now, none of what I have here was excessively a large sum of money. It was like $6 here, $8 there, $10 here, that kind of thing. So another way they do it with claim sales is that they'll put a whole picture of all their figures, and then in the comments they'll put one figure at a time. Or they'll put, maybe they want to sell, maybe they have 5 Imperial commanders and they want to sell them all. And somebody will say, claim the 2 best ones, or claim 2 Imperial commanders, you pick. Claim, the other person will say, claim, another person will come in and say, I'll claim the other 3. That's kind of how I did with all this. So this is the result of about a week and a half worth of claim sales. So let's see what we got, all right? We're going to start with this top box here. The top box here is, I'm not going to give the names of the people because I didn't ask permission for them to do that. So this person, though, did some things that I thought was interesting. In addition to selling figures, he was also selling stands. So these are like figure stands for the vintage figures, which I really liked. And they were pretty inexpensive. All right, so this is the kind of thing. And now, in addition to the figure stands, which I bought, I think, 40 of them. Maybe 20 of them. I also picked up an Imperial Commander. Oh, but not just one. And not just 2. And not just 3. And not just 4. We're going for an uneven 5 Imperial Commanders, which I was really excited about. And I think part of the reason I was excited about it was that these are like army builders, that you can get a ton of these and you can do some different things with them. Number 1, you can keep them as Imperial Commanders. Number 2, with a little bit of creativity, we can actually do some customizing and make these into ISB, right? You can do white, paint basically the entire upper torso white, keep the pants black, paint the belt black, and then boom, you got your ISB, a vintage ISB. And you don't have to do crazy stuff with it. So, and that's how they did it. So why not, right? So I'm going to line up all my ISB officers over here on the side here. Use my stands to do that. That was my favorite thing. And by the way, these stands for vintage figures are excellent. Those figures are not going anywhere. So I'm probably going to use, I have a bunch of loose figures sitting over here. And as I mentioned on a previous channel, my ultimate goal for all of these loose figures is I essentially have, it's basically 3 things I want to do. I want to have a bunch of figures that I can put in dioramas, okay, for if I want to get my play sets out and put them on better display. And B, almost lost my stands. I want to be able to, what was the other one? There was that. Oh yeah. I want to just be able to have some fodder to, maybe do some customizing, like I just mentioned, some stuff like that. And then C is being able to maybe clean them up, put them out onto the sale, so I have more vintage items to sell in the next big Star Wars sale. All right, next one. We got, this one gave me a nice little sticker. And this is, I will give this one since they did give me a sticker. He's got a Facebook group. This is called Kessel Run Toys Entertainment. So that's really cool. They give me a little sticker. That's nice. And he has a Facebook group too, which I think I'm a member of. This guy gave me a Bib Fortuna. I'm going to just, again, it's a loose one, and it's not including his staff, but he does include a nice jacket, so that's really good. And as well as that, we got an FX7, which I do think is complete. Maybe they're missing an arm, I'm not sure. I always loved FX7, the droid, but I figured this is definitely one I can do a little bit more with. So I'm going to, this guy I think is going to go. This guy is going to stay over here. His head is a little bit, like that, but that's kind of the common thing that happened with those. And any more, or is that the only two? I think that's the only two. All right, so good with that. Awesome. All right, now I want to talk about this one, because this one, there are no figures in here. Not a one. Not a single figure. No. Instead, we have accessories. We have what is essentially the weapons that go with the figures. And why did I get some of the weapons? Well, because I am interested in, if I get this thing open, I am interested in pairing some of my better figures that I've gotten from some claim sales with some weapons. Okay, so we got things like, a Chief Chirpa, or is this Logray? I forget. No, Logray. This is Logray the Medicine Man. His cowl. We got some AT driver weapons, and if I'm not mistaken, I gotta look. I have a box over here, but that means that I can actually get some of these things complete. And we have a blue blaster. Now, I am still deep in the throes of figuring out how to tell which weapons go with which figures. Of course, I know from my childhood, I remember, but I want to kind of go through it myself and just get to know it and understand it, because I have a feeling that there's more to that than I'm giving enough attention for. So I'm going to work on that. It's only March right now, so it gives me a few extra days, weeks, months to set up a few things. I also want to make sure that I have at least one original figure with one original weapon. So, all right, moving on. This is another one. We have, I think we may have more weapons here. Yep. I knew there was one that I purchased. Yeah, there was one that I purchased a handful of figures and a handful of weapons. We've got one of the larger blue rifle blasters, to put it over my face so you can see it better. Actually, let me do it this way. So you can see that one, right? I believe this is a 4LOM or blaster. And then another, but this one a black blaster. These are not cheap though. So I have to be careful, because I am looking to maybe try to flip some of these figures. I won't keep the weapons as part of my beaters or my display figures or my customizable figures. I might get repros for that, since in fact that's probably what I'll end up doing. I know some people are like, oh my god, no repros, But if I'm on my way of looking at it is that if I have a figure that's been painted or been customized in some way, then it's got no value anyway. So, all right, we got 3 more here. We got a Han Solo. A little bit of paint wear on the top there, but otherwise okay. We got a Tusken Raider without a hood or not a vinyl cape. And then this is an interesting one. I like this. We have the the Emperor Royal Guard, but without his outer cloak. I think this is just the inner cloak. Kind of looks like an evening gown, frankly. But that's kind of an interesting look, so I like those. All right, so these weapons are going to go over here. These guys are going to go... I think I'm going to put each of these... Well, I might keep the Emperor guy. I have to double check. But I want to make sure that I keep at least one of every secondary one. Last one. Quite a few in this pack. Don't know if there's any more than that. Let me just look in this thing. Make sure. Anything in here? No. Awesome. All right. Looks like we've got a bag of droids and a bag of other figures. I wanted to get some more Akbar figures because I want to paint them to look like the beige ones, the Imperial, his command, his second in command. Admiral, we have enemy ships in Sector 27. I want to have a couple of those. So that's what these guys are for. I've been collecting a bunch of beater Luke Skywalker X-Wing pilot figures because this is really the only X-Wing pilot figures we got. So I want to have some of these ready for who knows what. Put more and more of them in all the ships. Get them in my Y-Wing fighters, get them in my snow speeders. I just want to get them all in there to utilize them. We also have 2 Hoth commanders. Oh, there were a ton of these guys, so I'm all about army building with them. And another Imperial officer with a really loose arm, but that's okay. So these are all the beaters. That's cool. Actually, I'm going to put these guys over here. I'm going to probably give them a cleaning because they look a little bit dirty. I am not going to do any more cleaning on the droids because it looked like the chrome finish got destroyed on them. So I have what appears to be 3 and 3. 3 3POs and 3 3POs. 1, 2, 3. All of varying degrees, but generally the wiggleness... Okay, the wiggle test, they all fail. Well, they just see what I mean? Or they pass, however you want to look at it. Yeah, so, and none of these, I don't believe any of these are take apart 3POs. Okay. Then we have the Death Star droid. This one's they're all in that same kind of, oh, this one's probably got the best. But they all kind of have that little bit of wiggle. So... But again, I loved these guys. I might touch them up. I'm not sure yet. It depends on whether or not I want to sell them. If I want to resell them, I don't know if I'm going to touch them up. I might, in fact, just leave them alone. But if I want to have them in the collection as a fodder for backdrops and stuff. Now, my big question with these guys is, will they? If I stand them on stands, will they stand? Will the figures stand on a stand? All right, if I am, he's kind of low here, but you can see him. All right, he does stand. You can see his head there. He does stand. Okay. Let me see if I can put up him on a box here. Okay. So that's pretty good. Okay. So these stands also work really well in that. See if this 3PO has any better luck. These figure stands are amazing. They're the best figure stands I've ever come. Oh my God, this is fantastic. So awesome. Yeah, when you see these little tiny figure stands, check them out. They're really good. So, all right, cool. All right, so that's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. 22, 23, 24. All right, so like, yeah, 24 figures. And I can tell you I did not spend, I spent upwards of maybe $50, maybe $60 for all 24. So you can find them for very little money. They're beaters, okay? They're incomplete. Weapons probably will run you more money. These cost more like maybe $10 each, So you got to be careful. All right, that'll do it for this episode, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification button. Check me out on Instagram and Twitter. Not Twitter. I'm not on Twitter anymore. But Red 5 is on Twitter. And they will advertise the channel. So thank you for Red 5 for supporting the channel. And check out all the other channels on Red that Red 5 network promotes. But check me out on Bluesky. and my Darth Tuba unboxing page on Facebook. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time, may the Force and the toys be with you.